I have a question for you, and I want you to answer it in your head, no shouting required, right now. So imagine you are sitting at a dinner table or at a party, probably not even in Luxembourg, with your friends, relatives, and having a chat. And then someone turns to you and asks you, what does Luxembourg actually really do? So the question is not what it is, but what it does. And most of the times when this question is asked, a lot of people pose, and I find that pose the most interesting part about Luxembourg, because what we do is extraordinary, and we are remarkably bad at naming it. So I took a shot at it. I had more than 10 seconds, and I thought about what it does really, and what I came up with was density. And give me a minute to tell you why I think density is important and is our Luxembourg superpower. We have asset managers, structures, service providers, fund lawyers, tax lawyers, the whole ecosystem sitting in the same place, in the same city, and addressing the same challenges, solving for the same problems. When we need something solved, something that could take weeks of cross-border exchanges and scheduling, for us, it could be solved over lunch, right? So that's why I think it's a superpower. Today, and after all the presentations we've seen, you could think that every private or even public pool of capital that wants to deploy their capital in a European private company, they will require structuring, they require distribution, they require risk, etc., etc. And that needs to be built and held somewhere by someone. And those people, most of the times, are in this room, or at least in this city. So this is why, when we are speaking about 8 trillion euros of assets under management, we are speaking about the second largest fund domicile after the US, and still people cannot point us on a map. So that's why we are remarkably bad at saying it and naming it. But after tonight, it will be better, promise you. So let me tell you how I got into this position and what was my experience into getting there. So a couple of years ago, or maybe a little bit more than a couple of years ago, someone offered me a position which was, I would say, a sidestep from what I do. Moving from deal execution to the other side of the table, which was control. Looking into not being part of the deal, but being part of the other people sitting and asking the questions, right? So a few people asked me what everybody was thinking. Isn't that where you go when you don't matter anymore, and when you don't want to be in the room where decisions are being made? And you know what? I just said yes anyway, because my thinking was, if you get offered a seat in a rocket ship, you don't ask with sheet. You just get on. You get on the seat and you enjoy the view, right? And so I did, and it was mind-expanding. Structures that are being built, that's the governance that is being tested, capital. It wasn't the matter of the deal being closed, it was a matter of preserving the capital over time and investing sustainably. And in fact, that's what I discovered also, what we need to be talking about. What is important is that Luxembourg is not just a node in the European private capital markets, it is in fact the canvas on which everything is built, and that it's at the center of the conversations. So that was my learning, and tonight I'm sharing it with you to say this is what matters. This is what the CEOs and the board members keep awake at night when they are thinking about governance and structures and tech leakages. Those are the important things, right? So now we are here. We are confident that we have the structure. We are confident that we have the power. But what's next? And we all know that what got us here won't get us there. So this is the crucial moment where we have to put our heads together and also feel confident to name it Luxembourg 3.0. What does it mean for us? It means talent that comes and stays and builds. It means institutions who decide to invest here. It also means technology, moving capital efficiently. It means us taking that deliberate decision to say we have had and we have built an unfair advantage, so what should we do to maintain the unfair advantage? Because we all know here, having an unfair advantage is great, but it's unfair until people catch up with you. So what would you do about it, right? And when we think about it, we have that canvas again. We are given the opportunity again. We have seen wonderful people presenting tonight about it. So Luxembourg 3.0 can be our shared reality. And my last question to you is, what's your plan? How are you taking part of this? Thank you. Can we do it?